Hello all, welcome back to Edgeman Tutorials. In this video we shall discuss about minimization of a finite automata, or else simply called as simplification or else reduction of a finite state machine. And in minimizing the finite automata there are two different ways. One of them is partition method and the second one is the Myhill-Nerod theorem. So the second one is very important, so we discuss minimizing using Myhill-Nerod theorem. So the idea of minimizing a finite automata is, if there are many states in the finite automata, it can be reduced to smaller number of states, because if there are two or more states doing the same job, so we just combine them or else we just eliminate one of them, so that it is implemented using less number of states, but totally the property of the machine is same, that is it accepts the languages that it is designed for. So all the strings that are coming under that language will be accepted by the same machine after reduction also. So let us take an example here with a machine with more number of states, and we try to reduce that using this theorem. So let us take an example of this machine with 8 states A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So totally there are 8 states here with input symbol 0 and 1. And A is the initial state, and in the diagram it is given as C as the final state. So there are total 8 states. Now we try to reduce this using a Myhill-Nerod theorem. So let us take the transition table of this one. So the transition table looks like this table which is shown here. So A is the initial state and C is marked with star, that is the final state. So the transition table is given here for each of the states. So A on 0 goes to B and A on 1 goes to F. You can see that in the diagram there. So that is the same thing we have given in the table. Now we proceed to the Myhill-Nerod theorem. So in Myhill-Nerod theorem we use a table, or else it's like a half of the matrix which is having only the lower triangle, so the upper triangle is not existing here. So we know a matrix with the diagonal, and the matrix above the diagonal is what we call as the upper triangle, and below that is called as lower triangle. So here we draw the table as follows. So when we remove an upper triangle for a matrix of 8 by 8, this is how it looks like. So the diagonal part in the upper triangle is removed. So you can see the row wise, they are from B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So the first state A is missing there, and you can see the column wise we have given here, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Here the last run will be missing. So that the blocks what we are having here, the combination of the blocks will be with the states A, B here. The first one is AB here, you can see in that diagram which is circled in green, that is nothing but the block AB. So there won't be anything like BA, so there will be only one combination for each of the pair of states here. So the first block is AB, so the below one is AC and so on, and there also won't be any diagonal, so there won't be any combination of AA, BB, CC and so on. So this is how we create the table for the Myhill-Nerod theorem. Now we start the actual process of the working here. So how to reduce the machine. So we take the first combination, that is AB, which we have already marked in the green earlier. So we process that. So the first combination is AB. Okay, before doing that we shall see the final state. The final state here in the diagram is given as C. So we consider the blocks with the combination of the final state, that is AC, BC, DC and so on. So now we check whether there is a path from the state to the final state, from each state to the final state. So starting with A, you can see here from A there is a path to B, this here A to B and B to C. So directly or indirectly there is a path from A to C. So we can mark the block AC here. So simply mark with an X there, AC. And now comparing to the other one, B and C, the block BC, already directly B has a path to C. So B on 1 goes to C directly. So you can mark BC and so on. Similarly, if you check for all the combinations CD, D has a path from D to C, and E, from E we can go to E to F and F to C, and F there is a direct path, and from H there is a direct path. And from G you can go to E, and E to F and F to C. So all the states are having a path from every state to the final state. So you can mark all the combinations of the blocks here with the final state. So it looks like this one. So the first step, we marked all the final state combinations. Now we go with the starting block, that is AB, the first block in the diagram, the topmost one, that is AB. So considering the block AB, so we check what is A on 0 and B on 0. So we get a new pair as BG from the table. You can see A on 0 and B on 0 here. We get B and G here. So that is what we have written there, B comma G. Now we check A on 1 and B on 1. So we get a combination called F and C. You can see in this table FC here. So from BG and FC, that is the combination we got. So now we check in the table here whether BG block or FC block is marked. So the BG block is here, B and G, this is the BG block here, and FC is already marked. We can see any combination with C is already marked. So since FC is marked, we can mark this one because this is marked here. We can mark the block AB. Next we check the combination called AD. So AD on 0 gives a combination of BC. So since BC is marked, we no need to check the combination of 1. I mean AD on 1. So directly, since BC is marked, we can mark AD also. Then we go with the next combination, AE. So AE on 0 gives a combination of BH, and AE on 1 gives a combination of FF. FF is not existing in the table and BH is not marked yet. So we don't mark AE, we leave that and we process to the next one, that is AF. Now since AF is already giving a combination of BC which is already marked, AF on 0 gives AC, you can see in the table here, and that is already marked. So we can mark A and F. Now we continued the other process with AG and AH written there. AG on 0 is giving BG and AG on 1 gives FE. So both of them are not marked yet. So we go to AH. AH on 0 gives again BG and AH on 1 gives FC. So since FC is marked here, we can directly mark A and H. So since FC is marked here, we can mark A and H. So we continue this process with the remaining blocks or with the combination of B now. So we take BD, BE, BF, BG and BH. So directly I am writing the markings here. You can check that. Now when we check all the combinations with B and BD, BE, BF, BG and BH. So all these are get marked here. So BD is marked, BE is marked, BF is marked, BG is marked, and BH is generating a combination which is not existing, GG and CC. Now here you can check that BG is marked. Since BG is marked, already we have left AG here, since AG is dependent on BG or FC. Now since BG is marked here, now we can mark AG also. We marked AG also, but A is not marked here because A is dependent on BH and FF, and BH is also not marked. You can see that BH is generating a combination GG and CC. It is also not marked. So we are not marking AE. So we check the other combinations with D, E and F. So those are the possible combinations with D, DE, DF, DG and DH. In that, DE can be marked, DG and DH can also be marked, but DF cannot be marked because it is generating the combination CC and GG here, which is not existing in the table. So DF cannot be marked. Now we check with E, F and G also. Now checking the combination with E, EF can be marked, and EG is dependent on FE, that is EF. So since this is marked, this can also be marked, and finally EH can also be marked. So all the blocks with respect to E state are marked here. The next one is the combination with the FG and FH, and these both can be marked easily because they are generating CG and CG, which are already marked. So the final one is GH or else HG. So GH also gets marked because GH on 1 goes to EC. So we have already marked all the possible combinations. So there are 3 left here in the diagram or else in the table. So that is the blocks AE, BH and DF. So let us once again check whether they get marked again or not. So you can check in the working process we have done. Check again AE, BH and DF. So from the table you can see AE is dependent on BH and FF, where BH is also not marked, it is dependent on GG and CC. And finally DF is generating CC and GG, which are not existing. So these three blocks cannot be marked further. So the meaning of that is those are equivalent states, that is A is equivalent to E, B is equivalent to H and D is equivalent to F here. So we can combine those states, that is we can combine A and E. So we conclude that A is equivalent to E, B is equivalent to H and D is equivalent to F. So we rewrite this diagram, the main diagram, with the combinations here, like the following diagram: AE, BH, DF are the states that are combined. Now C is the final state, so that is not combined with any other, and G is the state which is not equivalent with any other state. So this is the final diagram with 5 states. So since actually we are given with 8 states here, so in that 3 of them are equivalent to some other state, so we combine them. Now if we rewrite the diagram here, A and E from the table, A and E on 0 goes to B and H. Obviously they belong to only one state here, so it cannot be going to 2 states, so you can check that. So if A and E are generating 0 to 2 different states, they are not equivalent. Since they are equivalent, they go to only one state again. And again A and E on 1, you can check in the table, A and E on 1 goes to F, which is in this state. Now coming to B and H, B and H on 0 goes to, you can check in the table, B and H on 0 goes to G and on 1 goes to C, right? And coming to C, C on 0 goes to A, so this doesn't change, this is single state. C on 1 goes to again C here. Now coming to D and F, D and F, you can check D and F here. D and F on 0 goes to C and D and F on 1 goes to G. So finally coming to G, G and G on 0 goes to G, G on 1 goes to E, so we can mark that E in this way. So that is how we minimize a machine, a finite automata, using Myhill-Nerod theorem. So here we try to implement all the working in a single board, so that you don't get confused in the next concepts. So this is about minimizing a finite automata. In the next video we shall discuss about checking the equivalence of 2 machines. When 2 machines are given, we can check whether both the machines are equal or not. Thank you all.